Hi guys, Squirrel here. Welcome back to another episode of Trucking Diaries. If you remember, we bought a Kenworth W900 in the last one, and we also brought that food line trailer down into this rail export place. Is it the grapes or wine? We're not really sure. The astute may have noticed that we have different tyres and rims going on here. You can see that dynamics, whereas we actually fit Goodyears, and the rims aren't the same either. The reason is that I've messed about with some of my mods. Let me try testing out the air horn first. It's the version 2 of the mod, and it still sounds the same. It's weird. So what we need to do anyway, we need to configure our wheels, and I think the mud flaps might be changing as well. I've got a new mod installed which changes some of the rims. And I've also updated the tyres one. I've also updated a couple of Jazzy Cat mods, which won't affect the truck as such, but it might affect the vehicles that you see as we're driving along. So the first thing I need to do is drive up to the mechanic and fix our wheels. Hopefully it won't cost too much money to get that sorted. And then we'll take a delivery from somewhere. Probably from Bakersfield while we're here. Maybe try and get over to Vegas if we can. Either Vegas or San Rafael, somewhere up that way. I kind of fancy. There's still, I think, El Centro is still not been visited yet. We've still not had a reason to go down to El Centro, which is down the bottom right of the map. Which I doubt we're going to get to today, unless we suddenly happen to get very lucky with the delivery, but it's certainly not a particular objective. Speed limit's still 55. I thought I saw a sign then which said 35, but clearly I'm mistaken. No, there's 35. But yeah, so we'll fix up the truck, then we'll take a delivery. Starting to get used to these gears now. Remember I went to the 18 speed in the last episode. Completely messed my brain up. But we're slowly getting there. Didn't quite hit level 10 if you remember, we were just shy of level 10. And I'm kind of hoping to be able to get an Eaton Fuller with a retarder at some point. Nice. Okay, it's back off the throttle a little bit. This thing picks up speed very, very effectively. Particularly down that slope with no trailer. Because, I mean, we're only on, what are we on now? 18th gear now. I got up to 18th gear, like 16th gear, pretty quickly, and we were already breaking the speed limit at that point. So I do need to be careful in this thing. She's a monster! Right, so take a left turn here, and the mechanic is just down the road. So if I ride slowly enough, then just maybe these guys will pull out by the time I get there. And it'll save the old hill start. Oh, yep, we got it. I actually thought that car in front then was going to flash out that pickup. And I thought to myself, I've never seen that done in this game before. Is that a new thing? Where the AI just flashes each other out? I thought I'd seen something new then. Burger. It's a good name for a burger joint, I'll give them that. It kind of says what they sell. Not sure you could trademark that though. Bakersfield. Is this the only city in the States which actually has its name as a massive arch as you drive in? Is there a particular reason for the Bakersfield Arch? Like, I don't know. There must be some history to it. Did somebody give them the sign, or was it like constructed on a particular event, or like why have they got it basically? Why does nobody else have it and they've got that? Or maybe it's a common thing. Maybe all cities in America have that kind of thing. I don't know. You tell me. I think I need to be in that lane. Nice timing with the traffic lights. We do like that. Just look at the trailers as they go past, seeing if we can spot anything interesting. I'll tell you what, I had a trailer in ETS the other day. Oh man. It was a black box trailer with the word, with Marshall written on it. You know Marshall, the people who make amplifiers and speakers and all that kind of thing. It was a beautiful trailer. I would so love to have that trailer in ATS. Well, let's take it to the mechanic right next to Peterbilt, shall we? I remember coming here. I remember us buying a Peterbilt from this place. They're probably like, hey, squirrel! Hey, wait, what? Where's the Peterbilt? Okay, so each of these ratios. There we go. 8th. I had it in 2 lower gear. Tyson. Did Tyson make steaks or something, or burgers, or is it, what is that? Some kind of meaty snack. Right, upgrade. Okay, let's go external, and yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So we've now got Kenworth. Let's zoom in a bit. Kenworth iron. Very unique. Kenworth black iron. Quite like that. Is that a real Kenworth one, or is these made up, I wonder? Kenworth red iron, steel, stainless steel, and chrome. Now, I suspect that might look a bit better when we're outside. Because the lighting's different outside to what it is in here. But I quite like the steel. I know stainless steel is technically better, but I quite like the look of the steel. If we put it on the back there, Kenworth steel. I like that. I think that looks really nice. Let's put the tyres back. Okay, looks like our tyres are not compatible. Interesting. Right, so our Goodyear tyre that we've got on here, we're gonna have to go with that one, I'm afraid. Goodyear, Michelin, Bridgestone. Okay, it looks like the... So if we choose one of these... Yeah, look. Okay, alright. So basically when you choose these, it seems to come with its own set of tyres then. And they've got white wall writing as well. Bridgestone looks pretty good. Goodyear. Okay, well, if we're going to go with these rims, we're going to have to go with these tyres. Goodyear tyres. It's not bad, we'll take it. Meanwhile, back here, we've actually got a whole bunch of options here around the mud flaps. So we've got the white, the chrome. I love those. Look at those chrome mud flaps. They are fantastic. And there's a whole bunch of other ones that you can go through. Down here, Eagle, Elvis, Girl Silhouette, Kenworth, Long Nose, Route 66 looks pretty good. A Vader one, a victory sign. I just think that is by far the classiest one though. In fact, we're going to have chrome here though. Maybe we should have chrome there. Or at the very least stainless steel. No, I still like the steel. Let's stick with that. There's no other alterations to be made, I don't think. Nope, alright. 22 grand. 22 grand! I don't even think I have 22 grand. Oh my god. Not enough money! No! I've only got 14 grand. Okay, so why was that so expensive? It's 1,000 for that. 2,600. Okay, let me cancel this. I've got 14. I've got 14,000. Right, we're gonna have to upgrade on a budget here. So let's go with the steel. That's 2 grand. Wow. That's 11. It's the rear wheels that kill it. 20 grand. Eek. Alright, I'll tell you what. Let's put our tyres back on. Let's put our normal tyres back on and let's get out of here. Because I can't afford anything because I'm broke. Oh my god, I'm just a penniless truck driver. But at least we've got the matching, you know, matching tyres, if nothing else. Let's go and earn some money and then we can actually change the wheels. Good grief. Oh man, I knew, if I hadn't bought the Kenworth, I knew that would have been financially better off. Solvents, aromatics, cars, meat. 3 grand, 5 grand, 14 grand. That pays the best money in all departments. However, it is quite a long way. 582 miles. It's a heck of a drive. And sort by price. 13 grand. Wow. All the way to jackpot. See down here, look, El Centro down here. Sawdust panels. Ventilation shaft for 10 grand. 480 miles, that's not too bad. Anything particularly interesting here? See, Carson City, that would be a bit of a drive just to go and collect it. Meat. There's that meat thing. Meat wagon. Alright, 10 grand for that. 480 miles. 580 miles. Pays 16 grand. That is worth substantially more money than that one. But that's quite a short run and through Nevada as well. So let's take that. Let's put 10 grand in our pocket quickly. Prop up the bank a little bit. Can we get out this way? What, really? We can't get out this way? Good grief. Let's do a U-turn. One thing I do like about the day cab is the turning circle. The sleeper cab version of the W900 is insanely long and can make reversing particularly interesting. Wow, that is a blue truck. Good grief. Change the information. I hate when you go in the upgrade shop. It automatically resets, like, all your stuff. And the information box you had gets reset. It just throws it all away. Whatever splitter setting you had gets chucked away. Even if you've done nothing to the gearbox, like you've changed your tyres and that's it. It's like the mechanic went, hey, let's reset his entire truck just to annoy him. Come on, change. Go green, come on, go green. Okay, be like that. Finally. Alright, looks like our pickup point is down here on the left. We're merging in anyway. It's actually just before the Bakersfield sign, I think. Is it here on the left? Is that it? think it is, actually. Yeah, there it is. There's the ventilation shaft there. This is quite a big warehouse. Do you know what? Why don't they move the pickup point to here? Why is it... I don't understand why it's over there. You've got to go inside this courtyard to take the job, only to reverse back out down there. It kind of makes no sense. Like, why not just put it out here? Right, we're in reverse too. I think it's on the outside. It usually is down here. That's where we saw it. Down this lane. Just watch out for that side. Make sure we've got enough room. See what I mean? You just can't look out the window and see anything. There we go. Let's have a look. One ventilation shaft. Total weight is 5 tons, so it's pretty lightweight. Needs to be there Saturday 11 AM to 5:40 PM. This means we've got a stop scheduled. Once we get into Vegas, though, should be able to open this thing up all the way up to around about 80. And we're good. Wow, that is a colourful truck and trailer. Did you see that? That truck was like, the whole front of it was done in a sunburst kind of orange, and then the trailer just happened to be this bright yellow thing. One of the was it Robertson trailers? And the whole thing just looked like, I don't know, a massive sunset kind of thing. Just not having much luck with these lights. Good grief. Thank you. Sneaky. I'll report that to the trucking committee. Western. What's that Western trailer? Are they like a packaging company or something? Like logistics? I couldn't read the small print. Liquors. It's weird, I look at the word liquor, like the when Americans call it a liquor store, don't they? And to me it looks like the word liqueur, and liqueur means, well, actually I don't know if it's in the States it's the same or not, but in the UK, a liqueur is when they put something like a brandy or a sherry or something inside a chocolate. And so when you bite into this chocolate, you get like a shot of sugarized, caramelized alcohol. And it's called a liqueur. Did they have that in the States? I don't know. But liquor looks like liqueur. And in the UK, the word liquor it just doesn't exist. Does not exist. We don't use it for anything, I don't think. Let's get foot down now. Over here we would call a liquor store, we'd call that an off license. And the reason it's called an off license is because they have permission to sell you alcoholic drinks for you to take off the premises. In other words, it's like short for an off-license premise, as it were. It's an off-premise license, sorry. You can take the goods off the premises, and it's called an off-license. That's where the name comes from. Messed up the gear change down there. It's all good. But yeah, liquor store. Nope. We just don't have such a concept. And I don't really understand. Like, what does the word liquor mean anyway? Does it... Is it short for something else? Does it mean something? Is it... How can I put this? Like, we have beer and we have wine and we have spirits, as they're called. So things like whiskey and brandy, we call them spirits. So does liquor mean spirits, or does liquor just mean, generally speaking, alcoholic drink? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. I would Google it, but I'm driving right now, so I can't. I don't generally Google and drive, Kappa. Alright. It's getting more deserted, which means we're hopefully getting close to the Nevada crossing. Okay, let's cruise control lock that in at 54. This thing only weighs 2 tons, we can chuck it around pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty easy going. This Kenworth, actually, I don't know, of all the trucks, the W900 just seems to be the most planted of the vehicles. Like, of all the stock Peterbilts and Kenworths in the game, the W900 just feels absolutely planted on the road. Something about its suspension setup. I don't know if you found that, but I do. Of course, at some point, I'm kind of hoping they'll get a license for the Volvo VNL. But if they don't, when I finish with the Kenny, once we've done many, many miles on the Kenny, I think I'll change it up for a VNL mod if there's no VNL stock available at that point. But I'm okay for now. Word on the street is they'll have the new map state out in May, probably? I think they said. They said a couple of months or something like that, which means... Well, it's March now, so they mean May, I guess. Disappointing as that is, nothing we can do. There is not a lot of traffic around. I can see something in the map, in the mirror, sorry. I can see a couple of vehicles in the mirror, but there really isn't a lot going on down this road. Have you seen those driverless trucks? They started testing them. I think Google have been building them for a while. Mercedes-Benz. I know Scania are working on them. Mercedes-Benz, I think, tweeted out. Mercedes-Benz trucks. I think that they were testing their first driverless truck. They'd got a license off the UK government to trial it up in... I think it was somewhere near Scotland. Somewhere where the roads are a bit like this, quiet. And, yeah, they're already testing their driverless truck. So by law, there has to be a driver inside the vehicle. But he just kind of sits there on his iPad. And the vehicle mostly just drives itself, which makes me wonder where this is all going. Makes me wonder, like, what is the guy's job? Like, if the truck is driving itself, can it only do it on certain sectors? Like, for example, I mean, this is interesting because let's say the driver is limited to 8 or 10 hours of driving a day. But when he gets on the motorway, or what you guys call the freeway or highway, when he gets on the big fast roads, right? Let's say he can engage driverless driving. So this thing now drives itself down the motorway for the next 300 miles or whatever it happens to be. Does that mean he can effectively clock off and say, right, I'm no longer driving, the vehicle's driving itself, I'm going to play with my iPad? Can he do that? And then, obviously, when he gets to the end of the motorway, he can just re-engage and go, right, I'm driving now, and the 3 hours that the vehicle was driving itself, like, it won't count towards his daily limit. It's interesting, isn't it? I suspect that, if the governments don't already have a law around this stuff, which I suspect they don't, they've got to be thinking about this. Because this stuff is going to come, like this technology is coming. You know, the driver represents, I think it's something like 1/3 of the cost of hauling goods around the country. Like 1/3 of it is fuel, 1/3 of it is the driver, and the other 1/3 is like, you know, the vehicle, overheads, administration. I remember Scania showing us a PowerPoint slide of it. And 1/3 of the cost is the driver, so... You know, I guess what they're looking to do is make the whole thing driverless and have a driver in there who's paid by the hour, and when he clocks off he's not paid. I don't know. Maybe he's paid a lesser rate, who knows. At that point he can phone his wife, phone his family, have a conversation, he can go to sleep. I mean, who knows? What is he allowed to do? It's completely unknown territory, and of course it's only a matter of time before one of these driverless vehicles has an accident, and then everybody's getting the pitchforks out and going, whoa, no more driverless vehicles. And the drivers are obviously, you know, the truck drivers themselves are probably not really in favour of this, because, well, it's a bit like the London Underground drivers on their tube trains, you know, they're trying to automate that. They've already automated some of it, and they reckon within the next 10 to 15 years that they'll completely automated the London Underground, which gets rid of the driver. And well, I don't know, I mean, it makes sense from one perspective and not from another. You can see both sides of the problem. But on the road, I mean, they're not, you know, they're on rails, that's different. On the road, it's an entirely different thing. Like, how does it respond if a small animal runs across the front of the road? I mean, how well equipped is it to handle that? What will it do? Will it just hit the brakes automatically no matter what it is? Like a bit of tumbling bracken, you know, tumbleweed just comes across the road. It thinks, oh my, that could be a small child, I better full on lock the brakes up. Somebody goes into the back of the truck, or, you know, it loses control and drifts off the road. What's going to happen though? What's the law around this? Can it identify the difference between a tumbleweed and a child? How good is it? It's all going to get very interesting. Let me have a quick look on the map, because we're actually due for a rest, and I actually drove past... Oh, we've got one down here, it's fine. When we get to this junction, we'll pull in and rest. It's been a very quiet road. I've been locked into 55 miles per hour. I've been trying to get ahead. Yes, I'm getting tired, I know. But I don't know how I feel about it. How do you feel? You're driving along the highway in your car, you go past a truck, you look over and you see the driver just reading his newspaper. The vehicle's automated. How do you feel about that? My guess is that we all feel pretty uncomfortable about it. It's new, isn't it? You give it 50 years time, where it's maybe commonplace, and you ask people then and they're like, yeah, whatever. It's proven technology, it's reliable, I was born with it. What's your big deal? I don't know what your problem is. That's the way it is. Like, me and you, we become dinosaurs in a way, we become extinct because of our old thinking. This is what happens when new technology comes in. We start getting uncomfortable with it, and then the next generation just pick it up and run with it. That's what happens. But right now, I'm guessing most people won't feel that comfortable with driverless vehicles. But, you know, it's going to happen. I think it was it Minority Report? I can't remember now. I think it's Minority Report, where they had vehicles that drive themselves, and not only that, they kind of go up the side of high-rise buildings, so and they just come and collect you. Like, you don't really need to own a car anymore. You sat there in your high-rise building, this vehicle scales the side of the building, parks outside your apartments, you open the door, step in, whoosh, takes you down again, and off you go, straight into the highway. Completely driverless. I think that is pretty inevitable technology. I cannot see that not happening. I know it's a weird double negative, but what I'm trying to say is, I'm pretty certain that will happen. I think we'll get to the point one day where driving your own vehicle will be considered to be a pastime, a luxury, something that you do for fun. Maybe you'll go to racetracks where you can drive a car. Oh, you know, because people are just, they don't do that. They don't own one. Who knows? That's where I think it'll ultimately go. They'll turn the aspect of travel will just turn into a service. It'll be a purchase thing. It'll be like, I don't know, buying your electricity or something. It'll just be something that you pay for, and when you need it, it comes. Wow, that's not reverse. I still can't get reverse into my memory, muscle memory, I should say. Because you won't want a car when you can just pick up your phone or your watch, your smartwatch or whatever, and just click a button and go, boom, I want to go. I want to go somewhere. And it'll just turn up. Where do you want to go to? I want to go to my friends. I want to go to my girlfriend's. Whatever. It knows what it is. Off you go. Meanwhile, you can make a phone call to your mum, or order your food online, or whatever it is. See what I mean? And let's not forget that, as you could see in things like Minority Report, these vehicles can go way, way quicker than me and you can drive. Like, safely. Like, they could safely drive 150, 200 miles an hour just a few meters in behind the next one. So they can pack more vehicles together, they can all go faster, you can all get around much quicker. It's gonna happen. Eventually. Who knows how long it'll take? Could take 50 years, 100 years, 150, who knows? Impossible to predict, really. I would imagine you'd need road upgrades to go with it, but... yeah, it'll happen. Feel sure of it. Let's get down to 30. I can't believe 30 miles per hour is 12th gear. Like, that is crazy. That's some crazy gear ratios going on there. Better stop. Well, yeah. I think the idea of owning your own vehicle one day will be just a bit of nostalgia. People will think you're crazy if you want to own your own car. Why would you want to do that? People will say. Because I enjoy driving. You enjoy driving? But we can't do it anywhere anymore. You know? You can't go on all the highways. You have to be computer controlled to go on there. This is what we'll say. Uh-oh. Rip gearbox. Okay. First proper mistake with the gearbox so far, that. There we go, 12th gear. We'll take that. I thought it was already shifted into the high range and it wasn't, so when I pressed it, it went low range. Food Lion. You're a bit of a late turner there, pal. Tell you what, those Food Lion trucks are getting everywhere. Oh, man. Come on, you can do it, Kenny. I know I just put you into 14th gear at 30 miles per hour, but you can handle 12. There you go. Hey, 80 speed limit. And some traffic lights. Yay! That guaranteed to change on me. Now I'm going to put my foot down. Oh no, I'm not. Oh my god! At the point where I put my foot down, it changed. Typical. Okay, how far have we got? 129 miles. Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a lot to say about that, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have a lot to say about it? It's going to affect everybody, that kind of thing. I don't think we'll see it. I mean, I'd imagine in my lifetime we'll see driverless vehicles, but not to the extent that I was just talking about there. I think that's a long way off. First thing that's going to happen is people are going to get used to the whole idea of it first. It's the same with these drone things. You know, Amazon trialed all these drone things, which again, in many respects, makes a lot of sense. In other respects, is unwelcome and possibly dangerous. The idea that direct from the Amazon warehouse, a little drone takes off carrying your goods, flies over to your house, drops it in your garden, hopefully if it's not fragile, and flies off again. It could probably even handle multi-drop. Now, a lot of people feel uncomfortable about that. I think the FAA has stuck its oar in with the whole idea of drones and no-fly zones because they are a threat to aircraft. And somebody at some point is going to have some fun. Like, you know, I can't imagine what teenage kids seeing a drone fly past with who knows what it's carrying. Could be something cool, valuable. Let's say when his drone flies overhead, just happens to be carrying an iPhone. Just for fun, these kids catapult it down, or even, you know, shoot it down with something, throw spears at it, like whatever they're gonna do, because hey, it's a drone, it's flying past, this is fun, right? Of course they're gonna do that. And then all of a sudden this box lands, which they're gonna open up, and they find an iPhone. Woohoo! Payday. Has Amazon even thought about this? Maybe they just don't understand what teenagers are going to do. I'm pretty certain, you know, when I was that age, if I'd have seen a drone flying overhead that wasn't obviously military, pretty certain I'd have got my catapult out and had a bit of fun. I mean, why wouldn't you? Good grief. It's just asking for it. So yeah, who knows where that's going to go. But again, driverless delivery that is, isn't it? In a way, if you think about it. More automation. It's inevitably going to happen because a drone is going to be able to deliver it cheaper and hopefully more reliably, at least, or quicker, possibly, but definitely cheaper. And quicker because it can just, you know, it's not going to get put in the back of a van and wait for a driver to go around 100 other homes before it gets to yours. It's going to pick this box up and they could probably give you a delivery slot within, you could probably even buck it in. You could probably say, drop this off between this hour, and this thing would do it. You know, you'd be there to catch it when it falls out the sky. It's interesting, isn't it, thinking about what the world might become. But one thing's for sure, technology will continue to change lives, it always will. I mean, you know, just a century ago, right? This is how much 100 years difference can make. A century ago. 100 years ago. Which, what are we in now? 2016? 100 years ago, they were in the middle of World War I. Alright? And combustion engine was around. Steam engine was around. The transistor hadn't been invented. Radio was in its early days. It wasn't that available. The range was very small. I mean, you know, you're talking like 100 years. Technology has changed unbelievably. Unbelievably, it's changed our lives. So, in the next 100 years, it's kind of hard to imagine what might be because we can't really imagine what might get invented. Like, nobody could have predicted the idea of, you know, 100 years ago, nobody could predict the idea of a mobile phone and the internet and a connected world and social media. I mean, what are you talking about? Nobody could have predicted that. So, I mean, what's the next 100 years going to bring? Well, certainly automation is obviously one. I just think that's inevitable. So be prepared for it. Well, we probably don't need to be prepared for it. Like I say, most of us probably won't be around for it, but it's kind of fun to think. Maybe your kids will catch some of it. Where are we going here? Oh, we're on the building site again. Ventilation staff needed in the new office construction from Dodgy Builders. And yes, don't worry, Dodgy Builders will make a comeback. How do you get in? Wow, how many portaloos do they need? Did everybody have a curry last night? Good grief. Guys, we had a big night out. Okay, I know it was a massive curry, so I've ordered an extra 4 portaloos for today, okay? Enjoy! Uh-oh. I must have overshot the entrance. I'm not even going to say hello to him, he always ignores me anyway. Well, I managed not to damage the goods. I managed to miss my gear a couple of times, as in get the wrong gear. But other than that, I think we got it here on time. It's been a pretty good journey. We've talked about some nonsense, which is always good. Oh man. I think I damaged the truck on the embankment over there. I think that's what just happened. Let me get over here. So yeah, I think I've just taken a bit of damage to my Kenny. 2%. That is annoying. First bit of damage. I must admit, I didn't really see the embankment. I did actually make the turn a little bit too quick, I'll be honest with you. But I couldn't really see that embankment. It's so well, wow, this thing has a different turning circle to that Peterbilt. Blimey. Oh, yeah, I couldn't really see it. Look, it's just like illuminated. There's no shadow fall off on it, so I couldn't react. This thing can turn the trailer a lot sharper than the Peterbilt. It's weird. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's see what we got. Level 10, hopefully. 10 grand. A decent chunk of XP. Level 10. Yes! Right, what do we want here? Do you want some more ADR stuff? Some explosives? Or do you want to maximize the money? Just-in-time delivery. Fragile cargo. High-value cargo. I mean, what makes sense is to take more of these points here to get more money. That doing this stuff would allow us to take more kinds of goods, so I'm going to go with that. Like, if I was playing this just for career, I would probably take high value or just in time, one of those two, to get more money. But I'm going to take one of these because it's going to unlock more goods for us to take. So if you're kind of following me at the moment, then I would suggest you go with one of those two, not this. Flammable solids, toxic and infection substances, such as poisons, that sounds fun. Corrosive substances, that's acid. We've already got that one. Explosives or gases. Liquid nitrogen, poisonous gas. Okay, let's take that one. Sounds fun. And let's move forward. Have a quick look at how our other drivers are getting on. See if we need to make any adjustments. Company manager, let's have a look. Driver manager, let's see what we're getting on here. 1800, still needs a long distance point. He's now got 3 long distance points, so I'm going to change him now. We're going to go for just-in-time delivery. We'll let him get 2 points in that, and then we'll switch him over to high value. This guy's got 2 points in long distance, which is good. He needs to get another one, though. But he's starting to earn a little bit of money, which is nice. We have 20 grand in the bank. We owe 365 on that loan and 98 on this loan. So as soon as we can, this needs to get paid off as quickly as we can. But other than that, it seems to be doing okay. We got ourselves into a little bit of spot of financial bother. I will change the wheels once we get enough money. But I think right now, the priority, having massively overspent, the priority is to very much get back on financial track. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Please give me a like if you did. Until the next time, happy trucking.